Hey guys, Evacso here. I got new realistic sliders for Tactical View for Title Update 5. So there's a few key changes from my last sliders for Tactical View. So obviously line height is a big difference. They've changed a few things, especially when the team's defending in their own half. Their line height was just backing off way too much, so they've changed that, and obviously line height has to be changed with the sliders. Goalkeepers are better, crosses are better, and so obviously you've got to change a few things of shooting and goalkeeping. But before I get into the sliders, please like and subscribe if you haven't. I'm pushing for 5k subscribers. Let's get that. So for the half length, you can use these sliders for 6-minute halves all the way to 10-minute halves. The difficulty level is on ultimate difficulty. You can also use legendary difficulty. There isn't too much changes in that. So let's get straight into the CPU sliders. So for the first time, I have not changed anything in the CPU sliders. I'm happy with the tackle aggression. Any higher, then there's too many yellow cards happening. I got the build-up speed at 40. I have heard a few things where the build-up speed is a little bit different between the AI's team and the user's team. So it's really not something I can actually really change, because I think this setting's supposed to be changing for both teams. But I do know that sometimes it doesn't run off the same sort of slider set, but in CPU sliders there's only the one slider set that can change. So there's actually nothing I can actually change for this. Got the shot frequency at 52, so they're still taking some shots from outside the box and sometimes going in, which is always nice. First touch pass frequency at 52. Crossing frequency is on 65, so now that they're a lot better and they're more accurate and they get in front of the actual player instead of like crossing it, and your striker actually stops sometimes, and it sort of gives the CPU more of a chance to defend it. So now that it's effective, this crossing frequency is a lot better at 65. Dribble frequency at 35, and I got the skill move frequency at 50. Now into the simulation sliders. So gameplay type, make sure you custom these. This is how you can actually custom these sliders. So kept the sprint speed at 45 for both user and CPU, and acceleration at 51 for both user and CPU. So no changes with that. So if there's no changes in the title update, then I don't need to really change it. Shot error is a big change. I've increased this by 3. Basically, now that the goalkeepers are better, I've had to lower the goalkeeper ability down. So now that I've lowered the goalkeeper ability down, I'm actually increasing the shot error too, just so then the shots aren't like always on target, because usually there's about 60 or 70% chance of it being on target, and I just didn't like that, because in real life usually there's about like a 20% chance of shots on target. So trying to increase that, but obviously you're only playing like 10-minute half, so you're not going to get heaps of shots that can sort of count to having 20% and still getting goals. Got pass error on 60 for both user and CPU. I'm just really happy with that one. 60 pass error. Shot speed at 50 for both user and CPU. So shots are still going in from outside the box, and obviously close range shots, goalkeepers are a lot better than that. That's one of the key things that they've changed in the title update, is that goalkeepers are better at those short distance shots. So I don't actually need to make the shot speed any difference. Pass speed on 45 for both user and CPU. Injury frequency on 50 for both user and CPU. Severity on 30 for both user and CPU. I have not changed that pretty much all year now. Goalkeeper ability, see, I just lowered this by 1. That's really all you need to do. Lower this by 1 down to 47 for both user and CPU. Marking on 62 for user and CPU. Run frequency, again, I haven't changed this at all. That's 70 for user and CPU. I'm still not really happy with the run frequency. Like, this is something that I need to be updating, because some wingers are just not making any runs, and the wingers is the one position you want always to be making runs. They should be always running off the striker, always making runs for midfielders, even fullbacks. They just sort of stand there, and you just can't. It's just no flowing sort of football without it. But sometimes the striker makes some good runs and they do get the ball, and they're just sort of standing back, and so then the striker sort of becomes all of a sudden like R9 and just sort of dribbles through all these centre backs, which, yeah, I don't know, they just have to result in doing that. Doesn't make sense. We've got line height at 70 for both user and CPU, so this is the biggest difference. I've lowered this from 75 to 70, basically only because defenders used to be dropping back all the way into the box, no matter where the attacking team is. Like, they could have just gone past the halfway line, and the defenders are all the way into the box, basically giving that free run all the way to the box. and when you increase the shot frequency, they're going to be shooting from the outside the box, and that's how heaps of shots will be coming from outside the box. So now that they're up a little bit higher, I don't have to put this up to 75. It's very balanced now on 70. We've got a line length of 47 for both using CPU. With the line height fixed, the line length isn't as bad, I don't think. So I've kept this at 47. Line width of 48 again. I still don't really like it at 48. I feel like sometimes they're very spread out between the centre backs. But if you do tighten them, then the striker doesn't have many chances and usually result in a lot of 0-all games. So I think that's something that they need to be balancing, because sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not. That's just something they need to balance out a bit more. And we've got fullback position on 80. Again, I think this is another thing they need to balance out, but I've kept it at 80 because sometimes they make runs, sometimes they don't. It's just whenever they feel like it sometimes. Wingbacks make runs all the time, but if it's just a normal fullback, yeah, they're not going to go up that much. So if you do have like good attacking fullbacks, you might just want to change your formation and make them a wing back or something, or just make them change in the tactics, because they're not really going to be making runs if that's the case. We've got power bar at 50, so obviously just don't touch that, and the first touch control area is on 65 for both user and CPU. So those are the new sliders for Title Update 5. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and please comment down once you've tested these sliders. You know, once Title Update 6 comes around, you know, maybe I need to be changing that. I'm hoping not, because I've been doing a lot of tactical view realistic sliders. I want to get back into like the world class difficulty and legendary, just playing the game a little bit more. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please check out my socials, they're all in the description. I'm on Instagram a lot and TikTok, so I'm trying to post a lot on that. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later.